To the 6th episode of the Grime Scene Investigation. My name's Blondie. I'm here with T again. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. You good?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Again, been another bit of a quiet week. Although, we've had two new big albums drop. We've had one of the youngest, one of the most promising grime MCs of his generation, and Stormzy drop an album each this week. So, which one do you want to start with? We've got Tommy B, The New Dimension, and Stormzy, Heavy as the Head. Yeah. So I haven't listened to Stormzy's one.
And I haven't listened to Tommy B's at the moment.
Oh, shit. All right.
So you can talk about Tommy B and I'll discuss the Stormzy one.
All right, cool. Well, for me, Tommy B, because obviously we're big supporters of him on this podcast. We love Tommy B. And his so he's dropped his, I think it's his first album, isn't it? It's his debut album.
Definitely. Yeah.
And I really liked it. I listened to it and it's fucking solid, bruv. You know, like he's got a lot to talk about, man. It's not just one of them. It's just emceeing about emceeing. He had a really good. My favorite track is Charlie. He's talking about obviously about coke, innit, and like addiction and shit. And really, it was deep, man. And there's a music video for it as well, which I haven't seen yet. But yeah, the lyrics, the content is great. He talks a lot about, obviously knife crime and shit like that. It's a very relevant, full of content, man. I really enjoyed it. I was really impressed. He's Tommy B. He's really mature, as an MC. He might be young, but he's still he's got more depth in his lyrics, if you know what I'm saying, than a lot of established big MCs. He's already kind of. I'm really impressed with the with some of the stuff he talks about, and he's really creative. People got to go out and support this album because he's the future of grime, that kid, as well as some of the others. 100%. But he's got Prez T, Devlin, and Discarder on the album, and Cy B as well. The production's great. And there wasn't really a track that I would skip on that album. I think overall it's a really it's a project I'm really impressed with. The level he set some levels there, man. I'm really happy with it, and I hope people go and give it the attention it deserves, that album.
That's what I like about Tommy B. See, he's only a young guy. He's under 21, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think he's 20.
And he's got the lyrical ability, and he knows about everything that's going on around him. He's not just focused on one topic, if you get what I'm saying. He don't just spit gunshot bars, you know what I mean? He actually got depth to his lyrics as well, and I think that's what sets him apart from a lot of his peers currently. Is that I know he's under Sharky Major's wing, but he still needs to have the lyrics behind him and the topics, and know what he's talking about, and make it all come together. And I just think that he does that better than anyone currently. I rate Tommy B highly. I think he's definitely the leader of the new generation. I hate that saying, but the fact is that Tommy's I think he's a step up from everyone else round about his age. And he's got some, if you're going to have features, to get Devlin, Discarder and Prez T on it, for a guy that young, and for them vets to want to work with him, that's a massive feather in his cap, innit?
That's a really good point you make. That's a very he should be really proud of himself there, and he kind of I feel like with Tommy B, a lot of people do compare him to Devlin, and he's like the young Devlin, it's like the new sort of and now that I'm thinking about it, because obviously Bud's that had some tracks with some deep sort of relevant subjects in it, Community Out. That's one of my favorite grime tracks ever.
Yeah, that's quality.
That's up there. Man. That had some really poignant sort of subjects. Do you know what I'm saying? And that was going on at the time, and still is.
Yeah, and
And that's the same with Tommy B. So yeah.
yeah, I love the fact that he sticks to what he knows. You know what I mean? Like he don't make out to be something that he's not. He knows what he's about, and for a young guy to have that sort of pass and to be able to speak about it in such a good way, it just shows you that like he's mature beyond his years. And I just think he's an excellent young MC. Um, Going back onto something you said though, I really hate the tag of the next Devlin because I think like anyone who's white and can spit bars just gets labelled. You know what I mean? You're the next Devlin because you're white and you can spit bars.
Yeah, that is true. I'm not gonna lie, but like you can, it's not. I don't think it is. I completely agree with you that, and that tag does get slapped on any good white MC that's young, but like they do, they do have like the similar. They do sound sort of kind of similar. Like obviously Devlin's really polished and like he's just a natural, and like Tommy B, he's still learning. This is like one of the small criticisms I would have listening to that album. Some of the rhymes in that, like he could have, I don't know, like some of the rhymes just didn't come off well, and like I reckon he could work on that if I had to, like say to improve on one thing with the album, like listen to it. When you hear a rhyme and you hear and it's just you're trying to kind of force it almost, and but yeah, but
Who
genuinely
better?
though, I do. Oh, go on.
No, I was gonna say, but who better to have teaching you than someone like Sharky Major? You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna have to listen to someone to have a vet like Sharky Major who's been there, done that, I just think the future's so bright for Tommy B right now.
Oh, definitely, and he's and that's what I'm saying as well. His bars, he's not just chatting shit about how he would, murk an MC or
Yeah, exactly.
about cars or girls or anything. Like he's talking about like real shit. It's almost as well as like it reminded me of Bud Sweat and Beers. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Boy in the Corner as well, because that was Dizzy Rascal like complaining about the issues of the day, and it was real. He wasn't like bullshitting about like fucking shit. It was like it was real talk really, and that's what Tommy B's doing as well. Like he's following the blueprint of these great MCs that came before him, like Dizzy Rascal, like Devlin, and I can totally see him like if this is the sort of project he's doing when he's 20, he's got big future ahead of him, and I really hope that he fulfills that potential because yeah, like you say, he's got Sharky Major around him. He's getting people like President T and Devlin to work with him. Like that's a big credit to him.
Yeah, and I know Discarda was backing him from early as well. So he's got the likability about him. That people are sort of like drawn to Tommy B. He's a good character and he's a great MC. So like all power to him. I hope that he fulfills his potential because he could be one of the best.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really excited to. I'm really excited for his future. Definitely one to keep an eye on. What about Stormzy's album then? Because personally I saw that and I didn't want to listen to it because like it's just because I was so gassed when Wiley Flow and Sound of the Skane came out because they were two grimy tracks. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, Stormzy is a rapper who's dabbled in grime. Yeah, and when he does grime, he's really good at it. So like I want him to do more grime, but he's gone back, he's reverted to type now, and he's just done bare rap. You look at the features, and that tells you. But yeah, no, but that's why I haven't listened to it because I'm not a big fan of UK rap anyway. Yeah, but well, what maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there was some grimy elements in it. What did you think of it?
Yeah, there's definitely a few grime tracks on there, but if you're looking for something grimy, then this is not that album for you. What I will say though is it's a quality album. I mean, like you said, he's reverted to type. We know what we're going to get with Stormzy. And what we did get is an excellent CD. How can I say, there's no track on there that I will skip. Like, there's none that I will come across and think, this is a bit boring, skip it. Like, I think every track, I like the diversity on the album because you can go from grime to rapping. And then there's a track on there that's a bit heartfelt, like towards his ex. And the diversity of the album is what I think makes it a great album. Like, because it's not on there, like every song's not about the roads or drugs or guns or whatever. There's a lot of diversity on the album, and I just think it's an excellent album. And with Stormzy, I was late on the hype with Stormzy. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of UK rap and all that. And I thought Stormzy was actually like just a rapper. But when you actually listen to him, his lyrical ability is up there with anyone right now. And yeah, it's an excellent album. I mean, if you want a grimy album, like I said, this is not for you. But if you want an album that you could listen to for say an hour or so, you couldn't go far wrong in this album.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I think when it comes to Stormzy, it's going to be it's hard to avoid his songs, isn't it? Because he's so big. Yeah, he's probably the biggest UK artist.
Oh yeah, like, undoubtedly right now.
Like even outside like rap or anything like of any genre, he is the biggest UK artist. You would have to say, I reckon. I mean, I don't know what you think, but
yeah, definitely.
I'm sure I will end up catching a few of those tunes, but
he has got Wiley Flow on there. I don't think Sands of the Skeng is on there. I could be wrong, but Wiley Flow is definitely on there.
Actually, speaking of Wiley Flow, did you see him go on radio and do his Wiley impression?
It was good. It was a very good impression, though. Let's be honest.
I was creasing at that. That was well funny. But yeah, man. Maybe I will check it out at some point. But
I'll definitely recommend it. It's a very good album.
Also wanted to mention, because P Money did a Q&A last night, and I was in the right place, right time to just pounce on it with all my questions. And I got a couple answers. So I asked him when's Teddy EP coming out, because he was saying he wanted it out before the end of the year, but he's confirmed that it's going to be March 8th. So
that's something to look forward to, though, isn't it? Something to look forward to.
Someone else asked him, who are you going to clash next year? He said there's someone he's got in mind. Ooh. So, yeah, I have no idea who that could be, and it's not going to be Dot Rotten, but he's got someone in mind, and I'm like, now I'm thinking who, because P Money is one of the safest dons in grime. Yeah, like who could he have in mind? Like, what's been going on? So like, he does actually, that, yeah. So I don't know, man.
Could it be a resurrection of the Gets thing? But then again, like he gave Gets his props for Legends Don't Die, so I can't really see that happening. But that's an intriguing one, because apart from Dot, I haven't really seen P really go at anyone apart from Dot and Gets a couple of years ago. So
and Big H, like that was the only.
Yeah, that was Lord of the Mics.
P Money does pick his fights, man, and in that Q&A, someone else asked him about his sort of clashing history, like who was the toughest opponent, Big H, Gets or Dot Rotten, and his reply, because Pete Money's always safe, man. He's never gonna he's not arrogant. He's so humble and everything. Do you know what I'm saying? And he was saying like, he was saying like, look, not many MCs would have come through those three clashes the way he has. Whether or not you thought he won or lost any of the fact that he is where he is now, having clashed all three of them, those, and Dot Rotten, Big H, Gets, those are three established legends, right? Even at the time of, and for an MC to actually just come through those battles and be where they are now, I personally think he won all three, obviously, but that's a really good point he made. Like, how many MCs would have actually? Because you look at Big H. Big H has done fuck all since that clash, and Dot Rotten as well. Dot Rotten's only just recovering. Gets, that's the most debatable one for me. I would hear arguments for Gets beating P Money, but yeah, man, I thought that was there was some really interesting, and I recommend that anyone that's listening go back on P Money's Insta story, after you've listened to this, and go check out it. Really interesting, some of the stuff he had to say about, like, he also, one thing I was really, he said, and I'm sure he'll stick to it. Someone was saying, have you ever thought about making like more commercial music, like a commercial project? And P Money was like, nah, he doesn't want the fame. Like he likes going to Tesco and being okay, like, not getting swamped.
Yeah,
so like,
fully get that.
So yeah, man.
That's the thing, though.
Money, he's a no, go on.
No, I was gonna say, like, when you listen back to them clashes, I mean, they're three excellent MCs he went against. I mean, not many would survive that. But what I like about them clashes is none of them was really what you call one-sided. Like P didn't actually destroy Gets. Dot. Maybe Big H if you want to look at it that way, but I don't think he really destroyed Big H either. I don't think none of them was one-sided, but I think P really, you could say he won all three. You could say that he won but two and lost one. I know where I stand on the Big H and P thing, and I don't want to like get into some massive debate because I know that 99% of people disagree with me.
Because you think he like Big H won the first couple rounds and then like just because he ran out of buzz. That's right. That was you, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was me. Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
I just think
no, go on.
Big H's bars were a bit more war-y, you know what I mean? He was mentioning OGs, he was mentioning Blacks, he was mentioning JJ, he mentioned the old Cyan Anderson thing. And I just think that Big H was a little bit more direct, whereas P was just saying things like, oh, you have to wind down your window with a wrench or whatever.
Yeah.
So, for them reasons, that's why I gave it to H. But I do think he beat Gets, and I do think he beat Dot Rotten. And the hate thing's up in the air, it's a debatable, isn't it? So it's whatever way you look at it. But personally, I think P is one of them MCs that if you're looking to clash, you should avoid.
Yeah, definitely. For me, he's the warlord. Right.
I'm still saying that's
because that was no, go on.
I'm still saying
Trim
is the actual warlord. But
swear.
Yeah. For me, like Trim is the warlord. Like Trim is that's when he's in his element. But P is still an MC that I would definitely avoid.
I don't know. Yeah, for me, I don't know about Trim, bro. But yeah, for me, P Money, he's the warlord because I feel like he's undefeated. I would argue, like, because for just to briefly go over his clashes, and he was clashing everyone, wasn't he? Like around those years, like Skepta, Wiley, and then obviously P Money.
Yep.
And a couple others. It was after the Bashy clash, but anyway. Right, and P Money was just coming through. This was like 2010. He was just coming through, and he was sending for Gets a lot. Gets finally replied, and bang, and that was a sick one. P Money to hold your own like that against an established, MC like Gets.
Oh yeah,
Gets by the way, absolute legend, right? One of my favourites. Like, and he's as competent in the war as anyone. Like, he is faced off against Wiley, Skepta, Bashy.
Yeah.
He's experienced, and P Money didn't have any experience at that time. So for him to go toe to toe with Gets like that, I felt like, and P Money really did. I think Gets, you could argue, won it because there were three. From what I remember, there are 3 war dubs each from each of them, and maybe you could say Gets won. Some of his lyrics like "Destruction of the Eiffel Tower," "Walking Through Like," and "Suicide" as well when he clashed himself. That was sick. Like. But
it was a good angle, but then you could look at it like, did he only do that because P had already won? And then this was like him saying, right, that's it, you win, I'll kill myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know, like, I love Gets because he's got these like multiple personalities with like Gets, Ghetto, and J Clark. That for me is so brilliant. Cool.
I love that.
That's so sick. Yeah, it's like. And you don't really see that, other than I think Dot Rotten tries it with like Dot Rotten and Zeph Ellis personas, but he doesn't do it as well as Gets. Like for someone to have that like 3 completely different styles of MCing, and it's all grime. They're all 3 are grime. It's not like one's rap, one's hip hop, one's like, and it's 3 different stages of his life and everything. Like, and you can hear all 3 like. In each of his projects and stuff,
like hard with all 3 as well. Like.
Yeah, they all go in like no matter what. But
I love the track he done, the Cypher, when he was like, that was just like, not many people can pull off a track like that.
I don't think any could. Even I don't think any could really.
Nice. That was different level.
Yeah, when it comes to stuff like Gets is in a league of his own when it comes to that. But this is what I'm saying, for P Money to hold his own when like he didn't have like much like experience at the time, against Gets, and then Dot Rotten, and then Big H, what was that, 2014 Lord of the Mics. So that's it as well. P Money's done Lord of the Mics as well. Like he's a big MC that has done Lord of the Mics, and that's we've already said before, like how that's like an acid test for a lot of MCs, isn't it? Can you go bar for bar, face to face with someone else with like hundreds of people watching? Do you know what I'm saying? And like,
taking a mum part to the face and that, like,
yeah, it's huge,
how you react to it as well, like, because like, you know, from the background of grime, not a lot of them would take a suck your mum to the face. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
So for you to have to stand there and listen to that and keep your composure and still come hard with your own bars, it's just like you said, an acid test. And it's,
yeah, exactly. And this is the thing I love about grime, like, and you don't see it in any other sort of genre, not to that level where, like, you're on a set or you're on a clash or whatever. You're in a clash. There's nowhere to hide.
no,
There is
exactly.
nowhere to hide in situations like that. And that for me is that's why for me when you're talking about the GOAT of grime, like the true, ultimate, undisputed legends, yeah, I can't put anyone in that bracket that has clash. Yeah. You know, I'm not like, and people I'm referring to when I say that, people like Jamie, DWE, like they are. Don't get me wrong, they are sick. Yeah, they are levels, but they've never clashed, and that for me is always going to be something that, you know, I would want to see what they do in a clash. I have no doubt that Jamie and DWE and MCs like that, they would be sick in a clash. I've got no doubt about that. But, you know, you want to see that. You want to see that. Just prove yourself, like in that department. For me, that's the acid test. It's like if a manager's never won the Champions League or something. Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of. But yeah, so like I say, P Money and Big H. I hear what you're saying about P Money was just slewing Big H's car and stuff, like, because that was when he was riding the German whip peak and all that. But like,
what I will say is that was funny. I gotta admit that was funny, but it just weren't worry enough for me. I like for them to get a bit more into it, a bit more personal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like my classes to be a bit more personal.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And yeah, that's why. Yeah, definitely the Cyan Anderson like bar and all that. Like, yeah, there was some like, yeah, it did go in, but like this is what I like about P Money. He can keep it. He can do both, because as we'll talk about, you know, in a minute, he can get personal.
Definitely.
But this is what I love about P Money. I was watching his freestyle the other day with Mr. Jam, I think it was, where he's doing like the letters of the alphabet and then like the numbers and that, and like he can spit about anything. Like he could write. I reckon you could put any object in front of him and he could just do a 16 bar straight, like just like that, bro. Like, and it would sound sick as well. Like
P is definitely a top 5 MC, whichever way you want to look at it. Whether you're talking about 10 years ago or you're talking about now, I think you can definitely pick P in the top 5, because I don't see a flaw in P Money. Like, he's just got everything.
I agree. I completely agree with you, bruv. There's nothing I can level at him and go, but you know, or that he's so complete. He's an all rounder. He's a jack of all trades. He can
definitely
anything. Definitely. Like he's got everything, and he's loyal to grime as well. That's the other amazing thing about him. I can't, you know, he's never gonna sell out or anything. I can't see him doing that. He's just a sick guy, man. I love P Money.
Yeah, he can. He had that period when he was spitting on the dubstep a lot, but he was still making grime at that period as well. And he's cool, fully on the grime feet.
That's right. And yeah, man. But yeah, back to the clashes. So Big H, like I hate saying that, but I think that's another dispute Money still that he can like air bars about Big H's whip, and you know what it is, that is still a thing for a lot of MCs, especially Big H, because of German whip. Like, you know, actually this is actual whip is. You know what I'm saying? I actually like that, and he did have a lot of bars, and he had so many bars that he made Big H run out, and he, you know, even though P Money at this stage was still young in his career. He just that clash. If he had more bars, you know, maybe there'd be more of a contest. But the way that P Money, he was trolling him as well. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, when it all stopped and he's like, P Money's just in the background going, "Oh, you're sour," and that. Do you know what I mean? Like he's just winding Big H up, and it worked. And he you know, how many times has that happened where the MC's just walked off the stage because he can't hack it? Like,
I do think that. P did make H quit. I do think that H did quit because he ran out of bars and P was just relentless. You know, P had so much more in the locker. But the bars that H did spit is what I preferred anyway. But it's whichever way you look at it. You know, it's personal opinion, innit?
No, I know what you're saying. You're saying like quality over quantity.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
At the end of the day, everyone knows Lord the Mics are 3 rounds.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's your fault if you don't come with 3 rounds worth of bars, isn't it?
I'm sorry, but H, you're a legend, and that you can't tell me that you've never watched Lord of the Mics before. I'm not having that excuse when he turned around and said, I've never watched Lord of the Mics. That's a lie, man. Come on.
Yeah, and he dissed everyone in the room as well. You know what I mean? He was like, oh, that's why you're down there and I'm up here.
Yeah. There's a bit...
And then he parred Jammer as well. He's like, oh, I've got more bars, you give me more money. I couldn't believe he said that guy, man.
Yeah, that was it.
The
third round just went, nah, man, come on. I just forget. Like, to me, the third round it didn't even happen.
Dot Rotten, that clash, that was epic. That
yeah.
in a lot of ways, you could argue is the best. Like, that was insane.
The back and forth was mad, like just mental. Like, there wasn't one poor dub. The only dub that was poor was Dot's last dub, and that one I completely ignored. That was poor. And I think
I think P had a couple that didn't really pop off as well. But then, like, I think that's just because the standards were so high. Like those dubs, like you could just start all Grime freestyle. That was the first one, and then Lies in the Booth, Mug, Steak Bake, fucking both of them did a real talk. Did you notice? Fucking what was the other Dot Rotten did? Steak Bake and it was real talk as well. Yeah, so like, and these dubs were long as well. Like Dot Rotten did like a 9-minute dub, didn't he? Or 8 minutes or something like.
Yeah, that's the one.
Crazy, man. What? That was real talk, wasn't it?
No. I think it was the last one that it was just like that dub there. Just like I just thought, oh, you know what, Dot, you just ruined it, man, because now you've just handed P the victory. Because up to that point, it was so even. I mean, P was dropping fire, then Dot was coming back with fire. After the first, like, you know, because it all started off with Dot making a freestyle singing for P in it, and then he went on the radio, and we heard the radio bars first, and then this P dub come out of nowhere, and I just thought, you're not coming back from that dub. The first dub, I thought, no, you're not coming back, Dot. It's over. P said this, he said that. Like, he went personal. Like, he knows too much information. But then Dot came back with equally as fired up, and I thought, nah, this is mad. And then, like, it was just, they was coming so quick as well. It's like, how'd you get in the booth and come up with something so hard, so quick? And
that was like, that was like fucking, I don't even know what I would compare that to. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali kind of thing. Like
that was just haymaker.
Yeah, man. And it's like, but I do think P Money bodied him. Like, I can't, like, especially, did you notice that for me was the war dub that won it. Like there's a bit, I think around 3 minutes, he just goes in, man. And it's like, you could, like, Dot Rotten was actually like dying at that moment. Like, P Money's just going in about everything. Like the bit where he's going like, got no G's, no width, no ends, no, like everything. Like, he was just listed, like, he's like just killing Dot Rotten, man. And like, and if for me, yeah, like, all right, maybe if you think Dot Rotten's dubs were better, like, just look what happened to him after that clash. Like, he fucking died, but he disappeared, man. He disappeared. He's only just coming back. It's December 2019, and he's only just recovering. If that doesn't tell you, like, how good a job P Money did, I think, you know, and yeah, man, I can't really have anyone saying Dot Rotten won that. I'm not saying he was shit and he got bodied, like I mean, he did career-wise, but like he like lyrics-wise, yeah, man. And P Money exposed so much as well, man. Like, yeah.
Yeah, P definitely won, because when P was saying about you're a liar, and then you jump on Twitter and you see all these people was just saying, yeah, P's right, like Dot's lying about this, and you're like, well, boy, you can't really come back from that.
Yeah, exactly. I think Dot Rotten, he ran out of things to say as well, innit? And he just kept bringing up the same things that you said before.
Yeah. And, like, you hit a woman and all that stupid.
Yeah, all that bollocks. Like, And yeah, and to be fair, I think there was bullshit from both sides. I think they both were bullshitting. Like I reckon there's a couple things that they were both saying. I reckon that was, but yeah, and so many people got caught up in that clash as well. Like Black's big time. He got he got violated a bit in that. Fucking Little D, he got caught up in it. Izzy Gibbs, he got mentioned in it. Like they were being nasty. There's yeah,
Maxwell
man.
got brought in. Yeah, it's just a bit.
Yeah, man.
That was probably in terms of dubs, I would put that second in my all-time favourite back-to-back.
Really, after what?
After Wiley v. The Movement.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Wiley Dizzy for a minute there. Wiley Movement.
No.
Yeah.
It was mad.
That's yeah, that's a good shout. To be fair,
the whole war report thing that Logan done and that was just epic.
Yeah, there was some legendary dubs that came out of that. But yeah, that's a great argument. But yeah,
that's something we might have to debate in the future. You know, favourite war dubs.
Probably, yeah, definitely. Like, but yeah. So that for me is why P Money's the warlord. He's done 3 wars. I don't think he lost any of them, and he's used like his full arsenal in all 3 as well. Like you can see, even if you don't even listen to a P Money like album or project, you can just listen to his 3 clashes, and I think that is enough to even tell you like just how good he is. And then you go and listen to his projects and you go, fucking hell, there's nothing this guy can't do to the highest level. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. If you go on Twitter or Facebook or a Grime forum or whatever, there would not be a single person that could tell you that P is swag. No one would say P is rubbish, because he's just not. You'd just be lying to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man. So
yeah, big up.
So yeah, that was 100%, man. He's my favorite MC. He's the king of grime for me. Last week, obviously, there was a really big vote. Not the election. It was the grime scene investigation top grime track of 2019. We had our 4 nominations, which was Legends Don't Die, Where Do We Come From, Shook, and Class of Danger, by obviously Getz, DWE, P Money, and Kano. And the winner, so in order, with 11% of the vote, Where Do We Come From came 4th. Then with 21%, Shook, P Money came 3rd. And then drum roll for the top 2, Legends Don't Die came 2nd, 32%, beaten only by 5%, with Class of Danger as the official grime scene investigation top track of 2019.
Bang. And that's something that I fully agree with as well. I just want to put it out there. Legends Don't Die, excellent track. Where Do We Come From, like a banger. Shook a banger, but for me, Class of Danger, it just had everything that makes a grime track.
Yeah, I agree. I can't really argue with that as well. Me personally, I personally voted for Legends Don't Die.
I went Danger.
I've got no complaints with Danger winning. I think that was track, like, and actually I think that was my most played track this year as well. Like, Spotify released the what do you call it? They do Spotify Wrapped every year. Yeah. And yeah, I think that was my top track, to be fair. So like, yeah, man, can't argue with that. And this week there's going to be a vote for top album of the year of 2019. So what have we got for nominations?
Let's hear yours first this time, and then.
Yeah. Okay. So I've got 8 that I picked out. Obviously, we're going to narrow it down to 4, but these are the 8 that I want to mention. So I've got The Outcast by Devlin. I think that came out really early in the year, January or February. The Outcast. We've got Hoodies All Summer by Kano. By the way, just for like some of these, obviously have a lot of hip hop and stuff in it, but like I'm saying, if the album's got half of it is grime at least, then it qualifies, isn't it? So like, so Hoodies All Summer by Kano, Money Over Everyone 3 by P Money, Ignorance is Bliss, Skepta, The New Dimension, which came out this week, by Tommy B, Lord the Mike's 8, the album they did for that, I thought that was sick. Welcome to Grime Street, that was Yeezy's album, and then obviously Grime MC by JME. Those are the 8 that I want to mention for top project of the year. What have you got, bro?
Right, I've only got 4 because I knew he was going to do a poll, so I narrowed it down to 4.
Yeah.
And you've mentioned all 4 as well, so
Oh, really?
yeah, I'm going to say right in no order. I've
Hmm.
got Kano Hoodies All Summer.
Yep.
I've also got Money Over Everyone 3. I've got the Lord of the Mics 8 album, and I've also got Grime MC.
Nice. Yeah.
So
And do you know what? I think we can straight up agree on that as well. Because yeah, I think for me the for me personally, Money Over Everyone 3 is the best. Like in my opinion, I don't know about what you think is the outright best one.
I do disagree there, but it's an excellent
Yeah.
album either way. Yeah.
Well, what did you have as your
I've
favorite?
I've got Hoodies All Summer, but that's because for
Yeah.
me, Kano is the second best MC in grime. So
Yeah. You love Kano, innit? And
yeah, I'm a massive fan of Kano.
to be fair, there was some sick tracks on that. There was 3 years later, Good Youths Walk Among Evil,
Trouble, I
fucking
love Trouble.
yeah. Got my brandy, got my beats. That was a really deep one. I love that track. Obviously Class of Deja.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. That's and he went and performed it at where was it? What's the place called? Shakespeare's Stadium. I forgot
Yeah,
what it's
yeah,
called now.
yeah. I
But
know
yeah,
exactly what you're on about. I forget the
yeah,
title
yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
But yeah, man, that's a huge album. Big up Kano for that. Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I would say Money Over Everyone 3. But yeah, man, Lord the Mike's 8, that had some sick tracks on it. That
What
had
I
a lot
like
of
to, yeah, what I liked about that is that it had a couple of vets and it had what you would consider the new gen on there as well. And I just thought that it blended so well.
yeah. I was just gonna
Yeah,
say that as well. So much variety you can see on
yeah,
that album.
exactly.
And
Yeah,
if you want to tell anyone that Grime's dead, yeah, go and show them that album, and then you're completely wrong, bruv. There's so much variety on that album.
I think that's the best album that accompanied Lord of the Mics since it resurrected. Since it resurrected, not the olden days. Since it came back.
Yeah, oh, I don't know. Lord of the Mike 7 I thought was a sick album, and but yeah, I'm glad you said that because the older ones like Lord of the Mike 3, I thought the album that came with that is probably the best one, but and 5 actually they're all sick, but yeah, man, 8 was just as good.
But yeah,
Um,
and finally, Grime MC. I've listened to it
yes,
all week this week, and it's just an excellent album. I don't know what I can say about it. It's such. I love the way it was promoted. I love the vinyl and CD only. I love it charting. I just think it's so. I just love it. I think it's an excellent album.
yeah, man, I was to that just before we recorded as well. And like, cause last week, I don't know if you want to like go back over this because you were saying like you like overall from your first couple of listens, you were saying like it's sort of a 7 out of 10, and then I was saying I thought it was a bit better than that.
Yeah,
But it
definitely
sounds
changed
like
my opinion.
maybe we've switched. Yeah, I think we switched opinions now
Yeah,
because I listened to it again and I'm like, nah, I'm not sure. Like, I think it is. It's a good album. I don't think it's as good as a couple of others that Jamie's done. But what do you say?
yeah. I'll actually say it's about a 9 out of 10. Like,
Really?
yeah, I don't know. I've listened to it all week. I've been listening to it all week, like in work, on my way to work, and yeah, it's just an excellent album. I love it. I keep listening to it. You know what I mean? I keep going back
Mm.
to it, and
Yeah, it is
I'm
a
starting
sick
to annoy
album. Yeah,
people
man.
now.
Oh, really?
You know, we just play it
Telling
over
him
and
to go
over.
HMV. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. To everyone who ain't got that yet, I'll definitely go and grab that from HMV. Grab the vinyl if you've got enough money as well.
Yeah, definitely. And then Money Over Everyone 3 because we've analysed each one of those. The reason why I would say it was my favourite was obviously I love P Money, and I think I was so excited for this album because Money Over Everyone 2 for me is maybe the best grime album of all time, but we can debate that another time. But like for me, Money Over Everyone 3 was sick. Like every track, like there's so many bangers in it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I said before, I've got a playlist of my top tracks for 2019, and most of them, a lot of them come from this album. You've got something like No One, Where and When with Gigs. That obviously that got big. That crossed over.
Do you know? Do you
About
know?
Grinding. No, go on.
Do you know what I hate about Where and When is when I'm playing FIFA and that tune comes on.
Yeah,
I have to listen to it before I start playing FIFA. It's just, you know what I mean? So I'm there for about 3 minutes listening to the
yeah,
track
yeah,
before I
yeah.
actually get into the game. But yeah,
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
it's I love it as well. It's an excellent album. Like P really come with it this year. Like
Yeah, man.
2019, P was
I was
like
just,
probably
and
the
I
best
think,
16.
yeah, man. It just, yeah, and it just showed everything that he's good at. Like about grinding, that's like the struggle that people in grind go through. A lot of people related to that. Fucking yeah, there was that was sick. That was talking about.
Yeah,
I love that. I was like an upbeat track.
I think
Obviously
I know what
shook. We spoke about that last week.
I
It's
get a
all
good
good.
I get a good idea what your number one's going to be.
Yeah, man, and it's all good as well. It's all good for me was my favorite track from that album. It's all good. It was like an Any tribute.
Yeah.
And then the features on it, like they had it didn't have like I don't know. The features were really interesting. It's like it gave a lot of people. He was working with a lot of different people, like Gigs, Izzy Gibbs, for example, JME, Manga, Little D. Obviously, there was the OGs in it as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Um, the only shit track that was a shit track in that album though. And that was the one with KSI. Like it, because it I get they've got history and I'm not hating on KSI but like that track is just shit, bro. You're listening to it and it's like, oh man, like because P Money's spitting and then JME spitting on a grime track, you're like, all right, cool, yeah, KSI's coming up, and then the whole beat changes to rap, and it just doesn't work at all. And then like KSI's just doing it's like two tracks have been welded into one. One's grime and it just doesn't work. But yeah, that's the
Yeah,
only
I fully get you. I fully get you. But I do respectfully like KSI though. Like,
I do as well.
I don't want to hear him on grime, you know what I mean?
Nah.
But I do rate what he does.
Yeah, man, big up KSI. But yeah, so that's our four. We've agreed then, have we? Money Over Everyone 3, Hoodies All Summer, Lord of the Mics 8, and Grime MC. I can't argue with that, to be fair.
Yeah, that's a very solid list. Very solid list.
I can't argue with that. I think Ignorance is Bliss was sick because that came out the same day as Money Over Everyone 3, but it's not the other four are just pure
Better.
grime, innit? Yeah,
better.
they are better.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels harsh leaving out that album because that did have some sick tracks in it. But yeah, I think the other four are definitely better.
Yeah.
And the Outcast by Devlin, I think that really went under the radar, and I was, I think that's a bit of a shame because it's a good album. But yeah, man, I can't argue with that top four at all. So that's what we're going with. You can all vote for that on Twitter.
That'll be up soon. So
yeah, definitely.
Let's get more votes this week.
Yeah, 100%, man. I want everyone to go out and vote. Everyone, like, if you had the energy to go and vote for that pointless election, yeah, you can go and vote for this, bro. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, man, we'll be back next week with the results, and we'll be back for the final sort of vote, which is going to be the King of Grime in 2019. So yeah, man.
We got everyone who locked in.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Share this everywhere, obviously. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube,
Subscribe to the YouTube. Just
get
subscribing. Tell your mates. Tell their mates.
Exactly. And yeah, we'll be back next week.
Episode 7.
Yeah, safe.
Christmas special.